Namaskar everyone, welcome to this video session. In today's video session, we are going to solve different examples on efficiency and losses in DC series or shunt motor. So let's begin our today's session with example number 1. So first of all, we'll take our green pen and write data given. So we'll mention whatever data given in this numerical under this data given. So a 4-pole 250 volt wave wound DC series motor gives 18 HP and runs at 1500 RPM and takes the line current of 60 ampere. So much data is given in the first sentence. So P is equal to number of pole 4, then supply voltage V, that is 250 volt. This machine is wave wound and series motor, DC series motor. Then after, the power, output power is 18 HP and this motor runs at 1500 RPM. At that time it takes line current IL, which is 60 ampere. Now let's write another data. There are 540 armature conductors. So armature conductor is Z, total 540 armature conductors. The resistance of armature and series field winding are respectively 0.6 ohm and 0.4 ohm. So series field armature, resistance of armature and series field winding. So armature resistance is 0.06 ohm and series field winding resistance is 0.04 ohm. Now we need to mention data to find. Data to find. And what data we need to find? Developed torque, TD. The next is useful torque, TU. The next is useful flux per pole, phi per pole. Iron and mechanical losses, iron plus mechanical losses, and efficiency. So 5 quantities we need to find in this example. So let's begin with the solution. And to start with the solution, first of all we'll draw the diagram of a DC series motor. So this is how we can prepare the diagram of DC series motor. This is the armature. So diagram is ready. A supply voltage of 250 volt is given over here. This is series resistance and armature resistance. So this is how I can prepare the diagram. And now we are going to start the solution. To start with solution, first of all we need to understand what data is given and what exact data we need to find. Let me make it clear that whenever you are going to solve any of the example, it is very much important for you all that you should understand what data exactly we need to find, right? Over here we need to find torque developed and useful torque. So first of all, let's understand that what is the difference between torque developed and useful torque. And to make you understand, I'll use this example. Maybe you all are aware with the power stage diagram of DC motor. Basically, that diagram is divided into the three stages: input stage, power developed in rotor, and output stage. Input, mechanical power developed in rotor, and mechanical power output. So this is the input stage. When you transfer from input stage to the mechanical developed power, in between there is a loss of energy, and the loss of energy occurs in this two stage is known as copper loss. From mechanical power developed in rotor to final actual useful output power, in between these stages, the losses occur over here are iron loss plus mechanical loss. So this is the power stage diagram of DC motor. Now let me tell you, power developed at this stage is identified by PD, and the equation for this is ED into IA. Power at this stage is actual output power, and power at this stage is actual input power. This input electrical power can be written as supply voltage into load current. This power is power developed, PD is equal to ED into IA, and this is actual mechanical output power. What is developed torque and what is useful torque? So the torque available at this moment, torque produced because of this power, is known as torque developed. It is the total developed torque by this motor. Now some of the torque will be utilized in overcoming this mechanical losses and all. So the total output or total useful torque we are getting is little less than this developed torque. So the torque available at this stage is actual useful torque. So this is the basic difference between developed torque and useful torque. Now let me write the equation for torque over here. Torque is equal to power into 60 divided by 2 pi n. So in this equation, whenever I am going to find torque, instead of this P, if I use PD developed power, then this will give me torque, total developed torque, and instead of this, if I use actual output power, then this will give me actual output torque or useful torque. So what we are going to do now is, first of all, we will find this developed power, and using this developed power we will calculate this torque developed. Then after we will use this output power which is already given to us. So using this output power we are going to calculate this useful torque. So first of all, let's do this much, and to do this much, this is the flow. To find developed power we need to to find developed torque we need to find developed power, and to find developed power we need to find back EMF. It's not ED, it's EB, back EMF and armature current. So first we'll go for armature current. You can see from here that this is DC series motor, and for DC series motor load current is IL, which is equal to series field current, which is equal to armature current, because everything connected in series. So when everything is connected in series, all current remains the same. So our armature current IA will be equal to 60 ampere. Now we need to find the back EMF. So the equation for back EMF for series DC motor is V minus IA into RA plus RSE. So let's place the value. Terminal voltage V is equal to 250 volt minus IA is 60, RA is 0.06 and RSE is 0.04. So 0.06 plus 0.04. This is total 0.1 and 0.1 multiplied by 60 is equal to 6. So 250 minus 6 gives us 244 volt. So the value of back EMF is 244 volt. So we got back EMF. Now we know both of this quantity, so we'll find PD, and PD is equal to EB into IA, 244 into 60. 244 into 60, 14,640. So it's equal to 14,640 watt. So this is total developed power at this point. Over here the total developed power is 14,640 watt. So if we place this PD into this equation, we'll get developed torque TD is equal to PD into 60 divided by 2 pi n. Developed power is 14640 multiplied by 16 divided by 2 into pi into speed. So if we calculate this, multiply by 60 divided by 2 divided by pi and divided by 1500, this gives us 98.2. So 93.2 Newton meter. So this much of power, this much of torque will be developed at the rotor side, right? Developed torque. Now we need to find torque useful. For that we will use power useful, and a useful power or output power is given to us as 18 HP. We need to convert this 18 HP into the watt, and to convert 18 HP into the watt we need to multiply it by 735.5, right? So what we will do, 18 into 735.5. Let's just calculate this thing. 18 into 735.5 gives us 13,239 watt. So this much of watt we are getting. So useful torque is equal to P useful multiplied by 16 2 pi n. 13239 multiplied by 60 2 pi 1500. Let's just calculate. This multiply by 60 divided by 2 divided by pi and divided by 1500, 84.3. so the developed torque, output torque is 84.3 Newton meter. So the first two quantity we have got, and now we need to find flux per pole. So to calculate flux per pole, the equation for back EMF is EB is equal to NOOPS by 60A n phi pz by 60A, and from that if we rearrange this equation, so flux is equal to back EMF 60A divided by n pz. The value of EB we have just found, that is 244 multiplied by 60. A is number of parallel path. So as this machine is wound rotor, A is equal to 2. So here A is equal to 2. N, what is N? 1500 RPM. Number of number of pole 4, and total number of conductor Z, that is 540. So now let's calculate this. 244 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 2 divided by 1500 by 4 by 540, 0.009. So flux phi will be 9 milliweber. If we convert this Weber into milliweber, we'll get 9 milliweber. Now we need to find iron loss and mechanical loss. So just observe here, iron loss and mechanical loss is total loss occurs in this section. So this is input for this section and this is output for this section. So if we subtract output from the input, we will get the iron loss and mechanical loss. So iron loss plus mechanical loss is power developed minus output power. So power developed is 14,640 watt minus output power 13,239. So this equals to 14640 minus 13239 gives us 1401. So this much of power loss in this stage number 2. Now we need to find the efficiency. So basically, what is efficiency? Efficiency is output by input, right? And the output is, this is the output power, right? 18 HP of output power given by motor, so it's 13239. 13239. And what is input power? Input power is not given to us, but just see, this is the supply voltage 250 volt and load current is 60 ampere. So input power is basically this supply voltage multiplied by IL. So if we place V into IL, 13239, supply voltage is 250 volt. Yes, it's 250 volt and current is 60 ampere. So 250 volt and 60 ampere. So this is the total input. So let's calculate this thing. 13239 divided by 250 volt divided by 60 ampere, and this gives us 0.8826. 0.8826, and if we want to convert this into the percentage, multiply it by 100 and we will get the efficiency is equal to 88.26%. So this is the final answer, 88.26. So this is how we can calculate this sum. Let me show it to you in this manner. So just go through the solution. If you have any doubt and query regarding this, you can ask me in comment section. So now let's move for the another example. At the end of this lecture, there is one question for you, task for you, and you need to calculate that example and you need to write the answer of that example into the comment section. And if you have any doubt and query in that example, that doubt also you can ask me in comment section. So let's just solve this. First of all, write given data or data given. A 200 volt DC shunt motor. So supply voltage is 200 volt, then DC shunt motor draws a line current of 4 ampere. IL is equal to 4 ampere from supply mains at no load and runs at 700 rpm. So this is no load current sorry, and N is equal to 700 rpm. The resistance of shunt field winding is 100 ohm and that of armature winding is 0.6 ohm. So the resistance of shunt field winding and armature winding is given to us. RSH is equal to 100 ohm and RA is equal to 0.1 ohm. Calculate the efficiency. So now we need to write data to find. We need to calculate the efficiency. Okay, so this is what we need to find: efficiency and speed when the input to the motor is 8 kilowatt. So speed. So we need to find both of this data when input to motor is 8 kilowatt. So this much of data is given to us. First of all, I will prepare the diagram of DC shunt motor. This is the armature and this is the shunt winding. RSH, RA. Here we gives the supply V is equal to 200 volt. This will be the line current, the armature current and the shunt field current. Now we will go for the solution. So to start with solution, we want to find the efficiency. So let's just write efficiency is basically output divided by input, right? And what data is given to us? Supply voltage is given to us, then no load current is given to us, speed is given to us, right? And we need to find the efficiency and speed at this much of input power when the motor takes 8 kilowatt of power. So in this efficiency equation we know the input. So let's just modify this equation as input. Output is equal to basically input minus losses. So if we subtract the losses from input, we get the output. Now we need to find the losses. So which type of losses occurs in DC motor? So let me write total losses. So in total losses, one is sieve loss, copper loss, iron loss and mechanical loss, right? So to make this sum easier to understand, let me club this losses. This is constant loss and this is variable loss. So total loss can be rewritten as variable loss and this is constant loss. So we can divide this loss into two categories, constant loss and variable loss. If motor is running at no load condition, partial load condition or full load condition, this constant loss will remains the same, right? So what we require to do, we require to find losses at 8 kilowatt When motor draws 8 kilowatt from supply, at that moment we need to find variable loss and constant loss. But as I told that constant loss is common for all the condition, right? So now let's observe the data given to us. No load conditions data is given to us, and this is important. Why it is important? Let me show. Because at no load condition, the input power, the total input power drawn by the motor is utilized to fulfill the different losses of the motor. So when motor is running at no load condition, the input power of that motor is equal to variable plus constant loss. Let me write this in this manner. WV represents variable loss and WC represents constant loss. At no load condition, the input power of motor is total being utilized in variable loss and constant loss to fulfill these two losses. So first of all, let's calculate the total input power. At no load. So that is V into IL, load current at no load condition. So supply voltage is 200 and line current is 4 ampere. So this gives us 800 watt. So 800 watt of total input power is consumed at no load condition. Now we need to find variable loss in this condition. Variable loss is basically the copper loss, and copper loss is what? Copper loss is I square R loss. So in this condition, I square R loss means IA square RA. So for that we need to calculate armature current. Do we have the armature current? No. Then how we can calculate the armature current? See this current. From this current we can write load current is equal to IL is equal to IA plus ISH. So from this we can write IA is equal to IL minus ISH. IL we know, but ISH is basically V divided by RSH, voltage across these 2 points divided by this resistance. So voltage across these 2 points is 200 volt and RSH is 100 ohm. So 200 by 100 ohm, so we can get ISH is equal to V by RSH is equal to 200 by 100 gives us 2 ampere. So over here just place 2 ampere, IL is equal to 4 minus 2 gives us 2 ampere of armature current. So now if we find variable loss or copper loss is IA square RA, and that gives us 2 square into RA is equal to 0.1. right? So 2 square into 0.1, sorry, it's not 0.1, it's 0.6. I have by mistake I have written over here 0.1, so it's a 0.6. so 4 into 0.6, 4 into 0.6 gives us 2.4. 2.4 watt. So this is what the power loss occurs when motor runs at no load condition. So copper loss at no load condition is 2.4 watt. So now if we find this constant loss, then constant loss is total power loss minus copper loss. 800 minus 2.4, this gives us 797.6 watt. So WC is 797.6 watt. So 797.6 watt is a constant power loss. So now we know the constant losses, and now we'll go and find the variable loss. But this variable loss we need to find 8 kilowatt. When motor draws 8 kilowatt, at that moment what is the variable loss? For that, input power P is equal to 8 kilowatt, right? So this P is equal to V into IL. So first of all we'll find the load current, and from that load current we'll find the armature current. So this IL is equal to P by V, 8000 watt divided by voltage is 200 volt. So 8000 divided by 200 gives us 40 ampere, right? Now as we know that armature current is IL minus ISH, so 40 and ISH is 2 ampere. That is common for no load and full load condition. So this gives us 38 ampere. So armature current is of 38 ampere. And now from this we will find the variable losses is IS square RA. The square of 38 into 0.6. So 38 into 38 into 0.6, 866.4. So this gives us 866.4 watt, right? So now we know this variable loss and constant loss. So by adding these two we'll be able to get the total loss. So the total loss is equal to WV plus WC is equal to 866.4, and constant loss is 797.6. 797.6 1664. So this is the total loss of this shunt motor when it draws 8 kilowatt from the supply. And now from the equation of efficiency over here, we will place all the values. We know the input and we know the losses, so we can calculate the efficiency. So let's just calculate the efficiency. Efficiency is equal to input minus losses divided by input. This gives us input is, our total input is 8 kilowatt, so 8000 watt minus 1664 divided by 8000. 1000 minus 1664 divided by 8000, 0.792. 0.792, and when we convert this into a percentage, so to convert this in percentage we need to multiply it by 100, and this gives us the efficiency of 79.2%. So this is how we can get the efficiency. The next quantity we need to find is speed, when the motor draws 8 kilowatt from the supply. Now this is the DC shunt motor. So for DC shunt motor, the equation that includes back EMF and speed, that is EB1 divided by EB2 is equal to N1 by N2, right? So we will consider this is the case of no load condition and this is the case of 8 kilowatt. This is no load. So we will find the back EMF at no load. We have the speed of machine at no load. We will find the back EMF when the load is 8 kilowatt, and then we will get the speed. So this equation will modify as N2 is equal to N1 into EB2 divided by EB1. So let's calculate here EB1, back EMF at no load condition, and the equation for back EMF is equal to V minus IA RA. V is voltage is 250 volt or 200 volt. It's 200 volt. So voltage is 200 minus no load current is 4 ampere, and no load current is 4 ampere, and the armature resistance is 0.6. So 4 into 0.6 gives us 2.4. 200 minus 2.4 gives us 197.6 volt. So 197.6 volt is back EMF at no load condition. Now at 8 kilowatt, the back EMF at 8 kilowatt is V minus IA RA. 200 minus current at 8 kilowatt was 38 ampere into 0.6. So 38 into 0.6 gives us 37.4 minus 200 gives us 162.6, right? 162.6. So now let's place these values. The speed, no load speed is 700 rpm. So 700 into 162.6 divided by 197.6. 700 multiplied by 162.6 divided by 197.6 gives us 576.01. So we just round off it to 576 rpm. So this is how you can calculate the speed of DC motor. So just observe this solution. If you have any doubt and any query in this example, then you can ask me in comment section. I think in today's video my handwriting is little bit poor, right, and the presentation is also not much appropriate, but as today I am running short of time, please bear with this poor handwriting, right? And now the final section. This is the task for you. This is the example that you need to calculate, right? And you need to write the answer in comment section. So calculate this example and write the answer in comment section, and if you have any doubt and query, you can ask me anytime. So until you watch our next video, bye bye.